What's up, folks? It's your boy Z the Real here, and this is for my anime fans, right? Because I'm a big anime fan, right? I love Dragon Ball Z. It's one of my favorites of all time. But in this video, I'm gonna talk to you about one of the most forgotten villains and the most hated, right? Because this guy doesn't really get enough TV time at all anymore. Okay, this is a character who's not seen in most of the Dragon Ball Z games, except for like Tenkaichi, right? Xenoverse. The ones that basically got a large roster, that's what you see him in. But games like Dragon Ball Fighters and the Budokai series, right? And then the games that came out for like the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, he's not featured in at all. And it's sad, right? This is one, to me, is one of the most powerful villains literally in the entire series. Because this is the only villain, right? Garlic Jr. is the only villain that pretty much was collected all 7 Dragon Balls and then made a switch for immortality. Basically came back to get revenge on Earth, right? Because remember, right? And this is a fun fact, okay? Which I don't understand why this guy is not featured in too much like media, but fun fact: Dragon Ball Z started with this character, right? Garlic Jr. is actually the first villain that the Goku and the Z Fighters actually faced. It was not Raditz, okay? Now, for those of you who are unaware, right? Because I do realize there's a lot of younger generation that watches Dragon Ball Z. I represent an older generation that grew up when this character was shown, right? Because there's movies that they don't even show anymore. A lot of Dragon Ball Z movies are not played nowadays. The only way you could get a Dragon Ball Z movie is either you have to order it online, right? Either you go to eBay or Amazon, or you got to find it at maybe like your local like shop, either video game store or any shop that sells like books and electronics, and you might be able to find his movie or DVD. Or B, if you go to Crunchyroll.com, right? You go to, or you either Crunchyroll.com and they actually have it available. Or C, you try to pirate it or look for it online, right? You Google the movie and you try to see it from a different website. It may be a risk, but you'll still be able to see it, right? That's the only way you're going to be able to find this type of movie. And then if you go on YouTube, they're going to charge you. Unless you want to look at it from the Japanese and read the subtitles. But anyways, Dragon Ball Z, the entire Dragon Ball Z series started with Garlic Jr., right? It was right after the Budokai tournament. This is right after King Piccolo was defeated. And then Goku has become a little older now. He's in his early 20s. Yeah, Goku's no longer a kid. He's basically a grown man. Him and Chi-Chi have already gotten together. They've already gotten married, right? They've already since then had it going on. But remember, Piccolo is still holding a grudge for being defeated. Because remember, Piccolo is the son of King Piccolo, his father, which is the seed of him, right? He's Kami's evil side before they fuse. Anyways, those two are still holding a grudge, but they had to come together because Garlic Jr. was that much of a threat. And see, what I like about Garlic Jr. had the max minions. Besides Frieza, like behind Frieza, he had like the max goons, right? This man had max minions that the Z Fighters take on. But in this second movie, in Garlic Jr. Saga, this dude had the Spice Boys. It was like 4 of them. 3 or 4 of them, right? And they all turn big and bulk like he is once he activates that Mekio star. Or yeah, activates the Dead Zone, that star. Right? So yeah, to me, man, Garlic Jr. is the most underrated villain. Like, the most powerful. Because he cannot die unless you push him into that Dead Zone. And this is actually, and what I like about Garlic Jr.'s saga, right? This is actually the first saga where Goku is not the hero at all. They basically give the shine to the other Z Fighters, right? The other main characters. This is the first saga where we see Gohan for his true power, right? Where Gohan gets the chance to play the hero and the protector of Earth. This is also the saga where Krillin and Piccolo are actually beast. Right? Piccolo, we already know, was always highly skilled, but Krillin is beast in this saga, right? Because what's so special about Krillin, and again, man, this is why I hate Dragon Ball Z Kai. I don't like Dragon Ball. This is why I hate about Super, because a lot of these millennials try to rewrite history, right? See, people forgot Android 18 is not Krillin's first girlfriend or wife at all. That's not his first love at all, right? That was not his first waifu, okay? So again, for you younger folks, right? Because again, I'm 30 years old, so I've been watching this since the 1990s. The first time I saw the Garlic Jr. sagas was in the early 2000s. I had to have been maybe like 10 or 11 years old. Yeah, I think I was 10 years old. Yeah, I was 10. I was in between 10 and 11 when I saw it. Right, yeah, in between 10 and 12 years old. This is when I was in between, like I had graduated 5th grade and I was on my way to middle school. In between then, like the summer of 2001. Yeah, 2000 and the summer of 2001. Those are two beautiful summers for me. And even 2002 was good. Like when I was 12 years old, 11, 12 years old, in between 10 and 12 years old, right? Yeah, I think I was like 10 years old when I saw this. Yeah, Krillin had a girlfriend on the show called Marin. Now, Marin, believe it or not, looked just like Bulma. She had green hair like Bulma did, right? And Bulma was younger. She had green hair. She looked just like Bulma, but she was hot. She was thicker than Bulma. Bikini and all. And Krillin was going with her. Krillin even had people to believe that he was actually engaged to her, right? And see, and Krillin was cool. Krillin was driving a nice car. He was driving like a Benz. The man looked at fly. He looked like Superfly. He had his Benz, right? He had the all-white suit with the hat. He didn't wear this at all. Like this orange G, he didn't wear this at all. This is his normal G. You see him on the actual like regular show. But in the Garlic Jr. saga, no, this man had a completely different attire. So this is the first time we get to see Krillin without wearing that orange G. That man had an all-white suit with the Stacey Adams. White Stacey Adams. He was fly. But he was also beasting as a fighter. Like, Krillin showed you how strong he was. He proved to be the strongest Earthling. Even stronger than Yamcha, right? Now, Tien was also around because this was the time when Lunch had a crush. I think Lunch was still around. She was, she was Master Roshi's, like, maid or something like that. I think she was technically still around in this, during this time. But Tien, I think, is seen training. Tien, this is around the time when Tien wasn't really getting involved. Like, he wasn't really that active. Right? So Tien was beasting. And this also continues the relationship between Gohan and Piccolo because, believe it or not, Piccolo is like Gohan's unofficial godfather. Like, Piccolo and Gohan have had a strong bond ever since the Saiyan saga because Piccolo was the one that trained Gohan. Remember when Goku was dead and in the other world making his way back to Earth through the being wished back with the Dragon Balls, Piccolo was the one who had to look after Gohan more so than Krillin. Goku put Gohan in his hands in the trust of Piccolo, and that's where Piccolo and Goku's bond became deep. But Piccolo got closer to Goku through Gohan, and Piccolo even said it when he died in the Saiyan saga that Gohan was like his son. He never had. He felt like he's losing a son. So you get to see the relationship. That's like Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid. If you notice, man, Gohan looks like the Karate Kid. He's wearing a headband, right? This is basically his Mr. Miyagi. So you see that type of relationship, right? That's so good about the Garlic Jr. saga. And this is also what I liked about the Garlic Jr. saga, right? It showed Vegeta basically, right, by himself. You get to see more of Vegeta's personality, right? You get to see the rivalry between him and Goku because Vegeta still didn't understand how Goku turned Super Saiyan and was able to defeat Frieza, which Vegeta couldn't do. Like, Vegeta got embarrassed by Frieza. Let's just be honest. Frieza basically toyed around with him. Vegeta couldn't turn Super Saiyan like that. Like, Vegeta had to turn Super Saiyan through max training. And that was later on when in the Android saga, right? When Trunks was introduced. In between that time, right? Remember, the Garlic Jr. saga is in between Namek and the Cell saga, right? This is right before Trunks came to Earth, right? This is right before he came to Earth and revealed that he was Vegeta and Bulma's son. And we all know that he bodied Frieza and his father, right? But that was right before then. This is within that timeline. Because remember, at this time, and for those who wondering why you didn't see Goku, Goku was on his way back to Earth through the spaceship. Remember, Goku had just barely escaped Namek before it exploded. Frieza technically escaped too. We all know, and I think Frieza remains. His father picked Frieza up through a tracking system, found his son, and then he put them together again. But Goku actually went to another planet through that space shuttle. And I guess the planet he was in, they actually took care of Goku and sent him back on his way to Earth. So this was a time, I think this was like 3 years before Goku got to Earth, because in space, it takes at least over a year to travel to different planets, right? I think in Goku case, it took him like, I think 1 or 2 years to get back to Earth. So it took him a long time. So around this time, Chi-Chi was basically take care of Gohan by herself, right? And of course, Krillin will always look after the house. And the other Z-Fighters, I think, were already brought back to life because Bulma had already collected the Dragon Balls. according to the Namek Saga. So they were all back to life. But Goku was pretty much in another planet on his way back to Earth. So this is when Garlic Jr. made his return. So yeah, in the first part of the movie, Garlic Jr. literally collected all 7 of the Dragon Balls, right? And then made his wish for immortality through the dragon. It was actually able to speak to the dragon. That's how Beast Garlic Jr. is. Yeah, technically, Vegeta and Frieza collected Dragon Balls on Namek. Yeah, Frieza had the Dragon Balls, and then Vegeta finessed them out of it, right? The Z-Fighters finessed Frieza out of those Dragon Balls. Frieza had the Dragon Balls, but then Dende, Gohan, and Krillin basically snuck him out of the spaceship where Vegeta was resting and was napping, and summoned him out of him, and that pissed Vegeta off. But none of them, Frieza and Vegeta could not summon the dragon at all. They didn't know the password. Garlic Jr. had that much knowledge of the dragon and was able to summon it, right, and make his wish. That's what I'm saying. He's the only villain in the entire series. Out of Dragon Ball Z, right, out of Dragon Ball Z Super, out of Dragon Ball GT, that was able to get his wish. And this was also so beastly about Garlic Jr. He was actually able to basically infect the whole Earth through the Blackwater Mist. Everybody's infected, including Gohan's own family. Master Roshi, all of them was infected, right? And Gohan had to, it was literally like 11 against 1. Gohan not only had to go through his own family attacking him, right? But this dude had to Gohan had to fight not only Garlic Jr.'s minions, but also they infected Piccolo. Now Piccolo was able to fight off the virus when one of his villains bit him. And he basically had to play it off. And Krillin only played it off to try to throw Garlic Jr. off guard, but literally, it was literally like a 6 against 1. So Garlic Jr. not only fought the villains, he fought against Piccolo and survived, right? Against Krillin's attacks, because Krillin was just acting. But he fought against all of that, right? And fought against Garlic Jr. and survived all of that, man. Like I said, man, this is Gohan actually becoming the strongest, that when Goku was going through to be the strongest fighter on Earth, right? And this is the same power that you've seen in the hyperbolic time chamber when the Android saga was underway. So that's what I'm saying, man. This is what I like about the Garlic Jr. saga, right? Because Garlic Jr. was just beast. You can see this, man. Like, this man is literally turns into an Incredible Hulk, right? This dude cannot be stopped at all. Like I said, the only way you was able to defeat Garlic Jr., they all, Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan had to push him into that dead zone. Because Krillin and Piccolo weren't strong enough to do it. I'm going to be very honest. Even the first movie, Piccolo didn't really defeat Garlic Jr. That was Goku. Right? We all know Goku did it, but even Gohan helped defeat him. And I'm gonna say this about Garlic Jr. Garlic Jr. knew how strong Gohan was even back then. Remember, in the very first movie, Garlic Jr. I don't know why I keep saying Krillin. Yeah, Krillin was a beast, but Gohan, right? Gohan as a kid, when Gohan was wearing the yellow and green, Garlic Jr. knew how strong Gohan was even as a child. Garlic Jr. already could sense the power in Gohan. And Garlic Jr. originally wanted to kill Goku off and make Gohan his most powerful and trusted henchman. That's what Garlic Jr. originally wanted to have for Gohan. And if Garlic Jr. had his way and defeated Earth, we would have seen Gohan basically in the role of Goku Black. Right? He would have been that powerful. And remember, Gohan had already surpassed Goku already. Remember, this is Gohan that when the Android Saga, when he was up against Cell, Goku had actually said it that Gohan is stronger than him. That his son surpassed him. Because Goku was not physically able to go head up with Cell anymore. Remember, Goku was going to kill himself. He was going to die. Right? He was already that up in age. Goku could not physically defeat Cell at all. Right? But again, it was through that power that you've seen. The power that Gohan used to defeat Garlic Jr., that eventually manifested in his Super Saiyan 2 form that he's most famously known for. Okay? But Garlic Jr. saw the potential in Gohan even as a child. Right? But this is just the first time where, again, man, Gohan is the main character. And Krillin and Piccolo are his 2 support characters. Like I said, Krillin is literally strong as hell. Like I said, this Garlic Jr. saga, he was beast. Right? And this is also the movie where we see Kami, we see more of Kami's backstory, right? Kami reveals how he became Guardian of Earth. And that was battling Garlic Jr.'s father, Garlic Sr. And you see Garlic Jr.'s father, right? Garlic Jr. has a story similar to Bob Bibbidi. I believe Bibbidi was basically inspired by this character. Because remember, this is before Majin Buu even like was able to be revived. Remember, Bibbidi revived Majin Buu because out of revenge for his father. So Garlic Jr.'s story is similar to Bibbidi's. Garlic Jr. wanted to avenge his father because I think Kami, trapped. I think what it was, the elders saw Garlic Sr.'s true intention. They sealed him away. But what Garlic Jr. wanted to do, Garlic Jr. wanted to make his wish, make himself immortal, and turn the Earth into his planet, and then bring his father back. That's what Garlic Jr. ultimately wanted to do. He wanted to defeat Gohan, right? Goku wasn't around. Garlic Jr. really wanted Goku, so Goku wasn't around. He turned his attention to his son, right? He was going to kill off Piccolo and Krillin, infect everybody into his slaves, and turn them into a species, and then bring his father back into Earth by collecting more Dragon Balls a year later, right? That was Garlic Jr.'s true intention. But thanks to the power of Gohan, that never happened. So that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why Garlic Jr. is not in here. But again, we begin to see cutscenes of Vegeta traveling across the galaxy, defeating the last of Frieza's army. And I'm gonna make note of that too, right? And see, again, this is why I hate that people try to rewrite the story, because in Broly's movie, right? Broly say he's part of Frieza Force. The ones Vegeta defeat in this movie, that was pretty much the last of the Frieza Force, okay? So the people, the henchmen, the people that the army that Vegeta defeated, that was also the Frieza Force. Again, I don't understand why there's a new Broly. I don't know why they created another Broly. You need to create another Broly to make him canon, right? The original Broly we had with the white and red, right, with his father Paragon, that Broly to me was just as canon as Garlic Jr. Because original Broly movie explains what really happened to him in the Saiyans, why he was pretty much exiled from the Saiyan planet. I mean, not to get off subject, but again, man, like, yeah, Frieza's army, there wasn't no new army. That was all Frieza's army. All they did in Dragon Ball Z Super is try to retell what happened to Broly. But no, Broly and Paragon was never a part of Frieza's the Frieza Force. They never was. Okay, I'm just gonna clear it up right now. I don't know why Toriyama allowed the writers to write that in. No. The Broly even the original Broly movie, Broly was never a part of the Frieza Force at all. He wasn't, right? Broly was originally supposed to Paragon originally wanted King Vegeta to use Broly to defeat Frieza, which could have happened. But of course, that's a video for another time. That's another one of scenario that Carthus Doju, by the way, never really talks about. But he's another subject. I've already taken care of him on this channel. I may do another video on him too, because he has a lot of interesting stuff, but they're not quite accurate. But anyways, getting back to the point. Yeah, so that's pretty much Vegeta, man. Like, Vegeta's trying to turn Super Saiyan and still can't. And he's still searching for Goku. So you see Vegeta in the process training himself, right? Bodying all of Frieza's remaining army, right? Just to try to get to Goku. So that was also what's so cool about that movie, is that you see Vegeta, like Vegeta's personality. We get to see Vegeta when he's by himself, right? When he's not interacting with no villains, right? There's no Frieza around, right? There's no Gildo in the Ginyu Force. There's none of that going on. That's just him by himself on his lonesome, on his journey to become Super Saiyan, which he eventually does. But remember, Vegeta and Goku were always rivals, so that was just a continuation of the rivalry. Because remember, Vegeta still hates Goku. He doesn't really. Vegeta and Goku don't really become cool until later on after Buu is defeated. I'm just gonna be very honest. Those two don't really have a strong relationship until Dragon Ball Z Super and Dragon Ball GT comes around. But this is when time when Vegeta still hated Goku. Like, they still were rivals. Yeah, Vegeta fell in love with Bulma. They might have gotten married, right? And Vegeta always aids Goku, but that's only because he has to. But no, this is a time when Vegeta still wanted to defeat Goku. He still wanted a rematch, which he later got thanks to Babidi in the Majin Buu saga. But that's already later on. But in between this saga and then the Android saga, Vegeta wanted to fight Goku, and you've seen this. You've seen Vegeta's personality. So that was so cool about the sagas, that we get the chance to see Vegeta by himself. So again, man, I don't understand why Garlic Jr., even though Dragon Ball Z Fighters, I told you, man, Garlic Jr. would have been perfect for that game. Because Garlic Jr. not only has villains that he can bring in, like Android 18 brings in 17, and even Ginyu, right? They could give Garlic Jr. his Spice Boy crew to assist him, like the Ginyu Force does for Captain Ginyu. And then this could be his ultimate, right? Where he transforms into this form. Or he could just fight you in this form automatically. But if Garlic Jr. is so skilled, he could fight you regularly. He could be a small character like Kid Gohan is on the video game, right? Again, man, the reason why Garlic Jr. is not around, because again, they don't show him too much. That's why. I blame the people of this show. I blame the people who keep trying to recreate trying to put out more Dragon Ball Z shows, right? And they don't bring him on there. He should have been on Dragon Ball Z Kai. It makes no sense at all. Again, this is the only immortal character outside of Matter of fact, I believe Zamasu was created based on him. Because him and Zamasu have the same personality. Remember, even Zamasu wants to destroy that. Like Zamasu, the reason why they made Zamasu, because they want to give Future Trunks another timeline, right? They want to basically recreate Trunks going through another timeline where his Earth is destroyed by an entity, right? But Garlic Jr. literally has the same personality as Zamasu. They're both an entity, right? They're both a strong, powerful being. Garlic Jr. is just as strong and powerful as Zamasu. Like if him and Zamasu was to have a match, it'll be pretty much a standoff. Neither one would be able to kill the other off. But if anything, Zamasu and this guy would probably team up. Like Zamasu would probably get this guy out the dead zone and bring him back to life. And bring him back to Earth. They would probably form an alliance. If Garlic Jr. and Zamasu was to meet. That's how strong Garlic Jr. is. Right? Very serious character. And this is another reason why Garlic Jr. is not back. They don't have him around because he looks too much like Emperor Pilaf. Now, yes, Emperor Pilaf did collect all 7 Dragon Balls in GT. But Emperor Pilaf is not really a villain. I'm going to say it again. Emperor Pilaf is not a villain. He never was a villain. Emperor Pilaf is just a man that wanted to collect all 7 Dragon Balls so he could rule the Earth. Something like a kami, right? He wanted to be king of the entire Earth. With Mai and Shu as his side. He never had any intention of killing Goku, Bulma, or Yamcha, right? Or any of the or Oolong or the other or the cat, like those other Z fighters, right? He never had no intention. Emperor Pilaf only wanted 7 Dragon Balls so he could have his wish of being king of the Earth. That's all he wanted. He didn't mean to even wish Goku as a kid. But that's why they don't bring Garlic Jr. around, because it interferes with him and Emperor Pilaf look exactly the same, and they're the same height. But we all know that's not the case. But it's stupid because, again, man, Garlic Jr. is very strong. He's powerful. He has an interesting moveset. He's very skilled in martial arts. Okay, like I said, his father competed against Kami. And even Kami, man, we see Kami in a much bigger role. Kami is actually fighting on here. He's trying to get past the Elders as an obstacle course to try to save Earth. Right? And we see more of Mr. Popo. That's another reason why I like this movie, because Kami and Mr. Popo are given bigger roles. Yes, Popo and Kami are support characters throughout the series, but this is when they really have to interact with the Z Fighters, and they're active. And this is also where Master Roshi's turtle turns 1,000 years old. And I had a turtle too named Fred. That was the same color as the one you see on Dragon Ball Z. Now, of course, my turtle wasn't as big as that because I didn't have that. I had a regular land turtle. It was like a desert turtle. I didn't have no big turtle. I wanted one, but we couldn't afford it. But again, man, like my turtle reminded me of the one in Dragon Ball Z. And I found out that turtles could live for hundreds of years. Master Roshi's turtle turns 1,000 years old. So that's another thing that was cool about this movie. Or this, it wasn't a movie, it was a saga. I think the original Dragon Ball Z show actually has this as a saga. And that's what y'all need to know too, man. The original Dragon Ball Z has this as a saga. Yes. What was it on the super big Namek, right? The Namek that came to Earth. I forget his name, the big one that turns a giant. Yeah, he was a movie. Turles was a movie, and then Dr. Wheeler was a movie. And Garlic Jr. had his first movie ever, but Garlic Jr. had his own saga. Unlike those characters, right? Yeah, Broly didn't have a saga. This guy did. Bojack didn't have a saga. He did. Which is why I don't understand why Garlic Jr. is not canon. Why y'all don't consider him canon? It's beyond me. And I hope Toriyama is watching this YouTube video. I'm going to send this out to Max people. This guy needs to have his own. He needs to have his own. They need to bring this guy back in Dragon Ball Z Super or Dragon Ball Z Heroes. This guy needs his own. He needs to be brought back. He is too cool to not be brought back. I mean, yeah, he's being sealed off in the dead zone, but again, man, like you have villains like Goku Black that can travel back in time. Zamasu can travel through time and transport people, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like this guy is too cool, man. I always loved Garlic Jr. But yeah, this shows Gohan for being the actual hero. That's what I like about it, because Goku is not the hero at all. Right? We get to see Gohan being the main hero. And this is not the only time you see Gohan being the main hero, right? They allow Gohan to be a hero in the BoJack movie. He saves Earth, and in Broly's second return, he's the main guardian of the Earth. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the video. But I'm mad at the fact that Garlic Jr. is always disrespected, right? People act like Garlic Jr. just don't exist. Like, it's sad. But see, that's the problem when you got a lot of millennials. You got people that's age 23 and down. People that's in their early 20s, 18, 19, they never saw the movie. Again, like, Garlic Jr.'s movie is not seen at all. Right? They don't even have the like the Toonami version is not on YouTube at all. They took it off. I don't know why. Because YouTube wants to capitalize on everything, right? Again, like I say, the only way you see any of Garlic Jr.'s movies, including the first one, again, man, you have to either go on Google and order it from eBay, right? If they have it online, you got to go to you got to either be lucky and go to a thrift store or a bookshop or a gaming store or something like that. They may have it. Or you got to subscribe to Crunchyroll. You got to subscribe to an anime website that may be showing it. Or you just got to look for it online and try to pirate it. Again, you may get a virus on your computer, right? Or something like that. But that's the only way you're going to get to see his movie. That's the only way you're going to get to see the very first movie he was featured in. And this saga I'm telling you about. But yeah, man, it was cool. And by the way, if you wonder what happened, by the way, Krillin broke up with Marin in the end. Just a spoiler alert. Right? Krillin breaks up with Marin because she's a hoe. Right? She's a whore. She actually was hitting on Yamcha behind Krillin's back. And I guess Bulma got jealous, because remember, in this timeline, Bulma and Yamcha were still together. This is before Vegeta took her. Right? This is before they got together. But in this timeline, in this movie, this saga, right? Bulma and Yamcha are still together. Now, of course, he looks like she gets jealous of him because he thinks he's a flirt. But yeah, Marin's a whore, and she later jumps in the car with a bunch of boys and leaves Krillin behind. So he dumps her, and he gets his heart broken. But he later finds love. We all know he gets with 18. And what's funny that he names his daughter after Marin. He named his daughter after his first love. So that's where Marin came from, right? No, Krillin did not name Marin. No, again, man, like Krillin's daughter, no, she is not the original Marin. The original Marin was Krillin's girlfriend in the Garlic Jr. saga. That's where that name came from. All they did was recycle that name. No, his daughter is just named after his first love, after his first girlfriend that he actually loved, that looks like Bulma. Okay? And I should tell you that Krillin actually had a crush on Bulma. But Bulma was never going to get with him because she only see him as a friend. Goku didn't even like Bulma like that. Right? The only one who really liked the Bulma was Yamcha and Vegeta, obviously. But yeah, man. But that's the video. Anyways, like, subscribe, comment, man. Y'all tell me who if you like Garlic Jr. or not. To me personally, like I said, he's one of my favorite villains. Only because he's immortal. He collected all 7 Dragon Balls. Right? And he got his revenge just like Baby did in GT. Again, Baby and Zamasu was pretty much modeled after this character, including Bibbidi. They all came from this character's model design. His personality and traits, they all get that. They're all, I believe the writers basically based them off of Garlic Jr. Because remember, even Baby infects the earth and make them truffles. Garlic Jr. infected the earth through the Blackwater Mist. Okay? And like Bibbidi wanted revenge for his father, Garlic Jr. had the same intention. That's the video, folks. Like, subscribe, comment. Stay blessed, stay tuned. I'll see you soon.